It's May 18th. I'm extremely irritated now because the last two videos I recorded, apparently the cat turned off the microphone. Which is fine. Not even supposed to be hiding right now. Let's just go out and hide under this dumb bed. That's not what's annoying me though. What's annoying me is that I apparently deleted the folder that contained all the things and bookmarks on my desktop, even though I specifically did not click that folder. And anyways, come on, we're doing this bullcrap again where it doesn't let me click the freaking move the thing. Whatever. Let's go get eaten by the way. So for the last two videos I'd recorded, the cat pushed the button. The cat pushed the button and made it so I didn't record any audio at all. So it's just the game audio. So it's just me playing, zero commentary. So that means you also, I'd made up a whole entire short story on the fly, just basically to show you how to actually use neopronouns and how to learn how to use neopronouns. Because the Murderbot Diaries, Martha Wells decided to be a coward in a way that is not unique to her. I've now seen two authors do it, where they write the rest of their stories in third-person point of view. Hold on, there's cat fur all over this microphone. I assume this is making very loud bump. Okay. And this is just very basic exorcexism, where the rest of your books are written in third-person perspective because you either have a male protagonist or a female protagonist, and they just use the basic he, him, or she, her pronouns, and you have no problem with those pronouns. So you'll narrate the whole story in third-person perspective. He went to the store. She went to the store. He, she got bitten by a werewolf at the store and now is doing all this crap. But then as soon as it's a character, protagonist who's non-binary and uses pronouns other than he or she, now all of a sudden, and yes, we are just going. Now all of a sudden, we can't use third-person perspective anymore and constantly use their pronouns. Now, instead, we have to just switch to first-person perspective so that their narrator refers to themselves as I, me, my, instead of actually letting the audience and the author use the character's pronouns and get used to using those pronouns. It's laziness, it's cowardice, it is stunting the damn writing ability of the author because they are chickening out of the most basic fucking challenge ever of use pronouns besides he, him, or she, her in your writing. And it is also just fucking weakening the readers, the audience's potential growth if they don't already know how to use these pronouns. So, let's fucking go. I've died so many times here. Oh, I see we're doing that again. I had to try to open this game earlier today while I was still compressing videos, but the game was so laggy, so I just deleted those videos. But I played like 5 seconds, and that time it wasn't letting me push the attack button when I was actually trying to do that. Because, you know, annoyance. Beep. But yeah, I made up a whole short story, and I was going to re-listen, and I found out the videos don't have audio because there's no actual feedback on my end that would tell me that. I just have to freaking see it. Oops. Running into a chair. Running into chairs. Anyways, Martha Wells, every single other book of hers that I have read, which excludes only The Element of Fire, which we got at the used bookstore. I think the Xenomorph is behind us. And The Element of Fire, which apparently used to just be completely online for free, but not anymore. Because lucky people from, like, officially online for free, like the publisher did that, but not anymore. So I still have to wait for that one to show up at the used bookstore. We're looking for the room with the dead body in it, because apparently I was just supposed to search that body whole entire time. But yeah, I got distracted by that talking about the bookstore. Every single book that Martha Wells has written, including many short stories that I have read from her, which is almost all of them, this is what I can't forget, are in third-person perspective, because the narrator is either a man or a woman. I forget what that means. That is a security access point. Oh, that's what I was trying to do before. Can I click? Bad noise. It's probably behind me. That was a weird noise if it's not behind me. Okay, there it is. I don't think it actually has the ability to look in these things yet, because I actually should have avoided deleting that video because it was entertaining, but whoops. Alright, too late now. I had a little 5-minute extremely laggy video where I walked into the little hallway to come this way, and the Xenomorph literally came down 2 feet in front of me, and I just went into this little cupboard like less than a foot away, and I could have sworn I had touched its tail. But apparently not. But it was just walking around. I don't know if me you hold the arrow key down to move backwards from the grating like this, I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't know how the Xenomorph is detecting me, because it doesn't seem to be sight. Doesn't really seem to be like heat-seeking, or you would think it would be able to find me no matter what. I am getting distracted again. Every book by Martha Wells is in third-person perspective, until we suddenly get to the Murderbot Diaries, and it's called the Murderbot Diaries as an excuse, but it's not even in diary format. It's literally not even in this is a story that I am telling you from the future format. Those are just justifications afterward to justify the really lazy cowardice of that was it, just going into the vent, so we're going back in. I'm not scared of the Xenomorph at this point anymore, not in this location at least. Yeah, apparently we're supposed to search this dead body, which I had been trying to avoid looking at for your all sakes, everybody, but apparently that's just, you're just supposed to do it. I'm going over here while Oh, now, see, when I don't want the mouse to do anything, hi Xenomorph, when I don't want the mouse to click, it's like, oh, you want me to click? You want me to smack the wall with the heavy hammer and get you killed? And it's like, no. But then when I want it to click, it's like, I don't think you need to push a button right now. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, it does tell me over here, it'll show you if it's even a thing that can be made. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure that's a very appropriate view outside of a hospital room, but whatever. Anyways, I was making up a short story on the fly to show how to actually use neopronouns, because we're just gonna have to go through the whole explanation again after. That was a glitch. I feel like I should just go and save so that I don't have to come and get the keycard again. So let's just do that. Should probably also turn my volume up more. There's loud cars. We're just gonna walk this way. What was I saying? If you speak English and you've always spoken English, do you know how to speak English? Neopronouns seem really scary and like they're really confusing to learn, but the English language, you already know instinctively all of the different rules that govern pronoun usage. It's just that you've known them since you were a little baby, before you could even speak, and that's when you started learning how to use them. So you don't even think about it, which makes it seem really. There's a specific word I'm thinking of. I can't think of the word though. Esoteric, maybe. That might be the word I'm looking for. You know that there's different rules that apply when you're saying she, her, or he, him, or they, them, or it, its. You can't just write a whole sentence out. Just say so that's fine. You can't write a whole sentence out using all of the possible pronoun sets and then just Control F and replace like he with she, him with her, and have the whole paragraph thingy come out exactly the same and working properly per the rules of the English language, for most of the English language at least. You can even try that. Can say, that is Ripley, she. You can just type this in a notepad and then do Control F and see for yourself. Ripley is over there. She is hiding in that locker to avoid getting eaten. You don't need to talk about this anymore. She's over there. That's her motion detector. She is trying to keep herself hidden from the xenomorph that has already broken. What did they do? Already smashed a lot of people's skulls and wants to do the same to hers next. Alright, now take that, just whatever I just said, put that in a document, Word document, notepad, and then just do, not using manual typing, just Control F, find and replace she with he, replace her with him, etc., and see if the result comes out like a normal thing, you would say, because it won't. Now try and do the exact same thing, but change out she for they, with just find and replace. Not you manually going in and fixing all the sentences. Find and replace. And then do the same thing for its. And it doesn't work, because all of these pronoun sets, the pronouns that are already established in the English language, they all follow different sets of rules. And if you've spoken English your whole life, you know this instinctively. You will instinctively change the way you say a sentence of Ripley is over there. She has her motion to... I'm getting distracted. What do they even use these things for in the first place? Rats? That's not relevant at all, but it just occurred to me. Yeah, you instinctively already change around the whole format of paragraphs and sentences that you're making, depending on the pronouns that you're using. And the only difference with neopronouns, like 99.99% of them are going to follow one of these 4 rule sets, because when you're talking about a she, that follows different rules than when you're talking about a he, or a they, or an it. This is 4 distinct sets of rules of how you use pronouns in the English language. There's like 3 sets of neopronouns I know of that specifically make up new rules. And those are all sets that I made up myself to challenge myself and to challenge my readers to just learn a entirely new set of rules. And 99.9999 repeating other neopronouns are never going to do that, because that's a lot of effort. And so you don't need to worry about those things. And so if you are wanting to learn neopronouns, the only thing you have to do is figure out which set of the rules that already exist in the English language are the pronouns that you're trying to learn following. They will either be following the rules of he, him, she, her, or they, them, or it, its. Those are the 4 options. And one example I can think of... I gotta go this way. I wish there was a compass. That's the thing that's messing me up. There's no compass. I would be terrible on a space station, because they don't even have like colored things on the... Well, I guess there's no north. Never mind, that's a dumb thing anyways, because there's no such thing as a... They don't have north in space. What was I saying? Before I got distracted by that revelation. Usually just to figure out what kind of rules the pronoun set you're looking at uses, if we assume that, like, I don't know, you're just reading a book or something, or just saw the set of pronouns somewhere. Because you can usually just ask the person who uses those pronouns if that's the situation, and they'll just give you the example sentence and explain how to use them, and are usually more than happy to just help you figure it out, because they would like somebody to learn their pronouns and use them properly. So, like, the conservative myth is that people who use neopronouns want to beat you to death for just being confused and needing help. But that's not actually how it works, because people who use neopronouns will be the happiest people ever to explain to you how to use them and to teach you how to use them so that you can use the person's pronouns. So in most situations, you can just ask. If it's a situation where you can't ask, like you just, I don't know, you saw somebody walk past with a pronoun pin and didn't have time to stop and chat, but you're curious how to use them, you can look them up online. Usually you can get out the full list of the pronouns. They'll be separated by slashes between each word, like he slash him, etc., etc., etc. This xenomorph is very sneaky. And just write out the whole list of the pronouns. So, for example, the rules that he, him pronouns follow are like the most basic, because they have, I don't know the specific grammar words for any of this shit, because I just know how it works. I just don't know the names of these things. But just write out he slash him slash his slash himself. It's 4 words there, each different depending upon its role. Now for comparison, you have she, her, and hers, and herself. And that's usually just shortened to she, her, herself. Which, because the word her there is performing multiple roles. You say, that's her over there, but then you also say, that's her car. It's possessive, and whatever the other first one is, I don't know. I failed English class for multiple reasons, including undiagnosed dyslexia. That also made me fail on my math classes, because apparently I read 7 and 9. Every time they're next to each other, I read them backwards, so I was solving the wrong math problems, and not a single teacher ever noticed, because they were all like 40 students to one teacher, so they literally do not have time for this shit. But yeah, you can't just control F and replace one set of pronouns with another unless they already follow the same rules. So a neopronoun set that I like to use as an example for how to start Neopronouns 101, the very basics, getting started, it follows the rules. That was a very little loud noise there, Ripley. We're gonna go over here and do this thingy quick before I get distracted, because I tried to do this while the game was laggy, and it was terrible. Oh, well, cool. What? Yeah, trying to do this while the thing was lagging was so difficult, especially because the mouse... No, mouse, don't do that now! Did I not have to open this door at all? It's just a little shortcut that we don't need? Okay. I don't think I'd succeed. I just remembered there was something down here for me to do. That prep door well, that probably just made it more difficult for myself. But now we know what that door does. Anyways, the most basic... it'd be so nice if we could permanently relock doors in this game. Because see, now I've just made more problems for myself. But I guess it means I don't have to come back down here, because that was the only reason I was coming back down here. Because I thought there was going to be something hidden back there, but it's just a shortcut that gives the xenomorph more options for eating me. Very basic pronoun set that just follows the same rules as he, him, his, himself is z, ze, zem, zem, zel, zel, and then zemself, zemself. It's 4 words, each performing a discrete function within the pronoun set. Z is used exactly like he. Zem is used exactly like him. Zel is used exactly like his, and themself is used exactly like himself. Also, you may have noticed the pattern of the second word in the pronoun set is usually, but not always, but usually, just what you put in front of self to say, he's by himself, she's by herself, they're by themselves, it's by itself. That's the only one that's different because of the rules of its pronouns, where it, it's like the opposite of she, her, kind of. It functions as both it is over there, and that is, yeah, so you'd say he is over there, it is over there, and that's him, and that's it. So some pronoun sets, like she, her, and its, are kind of condensed, I guess you could say. I think it's gonna come back down this way first. Okay, it's infants. Should be good. It might come out up here again. Oh, you guys didn't see that because that was the extremely laggy video that was giving me a headache. So I didn't want to subject anybody else to it. Like that vent right there. I feel like it's gonna be right outside this door. Okay, it'd be nice. Well, if we die again, we can just get right back to what we were actually supposed to be doing, because we didn't actually need to do that at all. So we can go... we're going this way because the doctor guy, well, we hope he'll let us back out now. We don't know for sure. Mr. Jerkface. Let's go save now that we accomplished nothing but opening a door that we didn't need to open. Just so we don't have to do that again. Yeah. Music's getting creepy. I think I would rather walk. So, okay, well, I'll not talk yet until this guy says something. You gonna let us out, man? Seems like a bad idea. Now, man, just lock the door behind me. Basic shit. Where's return to Dr. Coleman? Let's make sure we don't get eaten again. Oh, we can save here. Anyways, the pronoun, the short story I started writing was just robot named Omzig, which is just our kitty's Gizmo's name spelled backwards, because it was just only originally going to have her name, but she was trying to sleep, and every time I would say her name for the short story, she'd just look up at me all sleepy, like, what? I'm trying to sleep. Why are you waking me up? So, changed it to Omzig. Isn't this guy? Isn't he in here? No, I guess not. I'm probably walking in circles again. Xenomorph said, hey, I'm going to come and get you. These cameras are so annoying. Oh, I forgot this thing tells me which way to go. It's not telling me, wow, until right now, where it doesn't tell me anything. Well, we get to search this now. Very bad noises coming from inside the vent there. Yeah, I was just making up a story about a robot on a similar station to this. Just called the Starseeker. For irony. But just showing how easy it is to actually use neopronouns. And actually read a story where you, like, are actually anti-capitalist. Might die here. Okay, he's still alive. He's gonna talk
Damn
so
you,
loud.
Coleman! You knew that thing was here!
Ripley,
No, that's
shush!
not fair. I thought it might be there. There's a difference. Now, the passcode.
1702, okay? Now let's get down to the dispensary.
Of course. A promise is a promise. I'm sorry for putting you through this. I'm going to step into the other room to punch the code in and prime the elevator. Then we can use the key card to take the elevator down.
He's gonna die. That's how you know he's going to die. Xenomorph. Xenomorph? Okay. We gotta go watch something horrible happen to him. I don't remember what exactly it is, but something bad happens. Something bad is gonna happen.
There. I'll collect my things.
Xenomorph's gonna
and we
come
can
out of
leave.
there. Which way? Oh, gotta go watch this. I don't like it. Bad things. Bad things. I gotta push the button, push the button. Oh my god, it's not letting me push the button. Yeah, I'd made up a whole short story about a robot on a station like this. Fighting with, not the xenomorphs, because I want it to be public domain. Well, it doesn't exist now, so it doesn't really matter what the copyright would be, but it was going to be fighting the Canamorphs from my dream, which were like xenomorph-like creatures, except they're just cannellily mutant things from an alien planet. They were really cool. But the story doesn't exist. Let's go in here. Look at my map. Because I have no clue where we are now. Find a trauma kit. But anyways, if you are, like, the only possible excuse for this would be if every single one of your stories is in first-person perspective. Because we're talking about Martha Wells and many other authors. This, unlike most of the criticism, is not like a unique problem of hers that's especially notable. Like, not that romanticizing any of the other shit is unique to her either, but like specifically, this is a common problem. If every story you write is in third-person perspective, until it's about a character who doesn't use he, him, or she, her pronouns, that is the cowardice talking. And boo. Oh wait, there's a vent. restore power. Oh, we get this thing now. With obnoxious flashlights. Can you guys stop doing those flashing lights? Gosh. Urgent. Marshal investigation. Frank, I need to talk to you. I've got a body up here that's part of a Marshal investigation. Female, late 30s, chest wound. I have no idea how long Marshal Waits will want to keep her up here, but this is a highly sensitive situation. I'm going to need your discretion, and I'll also need you to trust me on this one. Come and see me in my office. Signed, Lingard, Senior Medical Officer. Environmental controls. Frank, your concern about San Cristobal's lockdown has been noted, but I assure you an evacuation is 100% necessary and only a temporary measure. My priority is the welfare of the living, while you seem to be more preoccupied with the dead. If you're worried about power fluctuation, morgue temperature, and the condition of the corpses, adjust the coolant delivery system. Just get out of there ASAP. Lingard. Okay, I guess we are activating them. I don't know if I did it. Okay, I was gonna read that, but I pushed the button too fast. We have activated a coolant system. I'm gonna save again. But, yeah. If you want to write a story about a character who uses neopronouns, you can do it. I believe in you. If you have to resist the urge of the easy way out of making the story be in first-person perspective, yeah, you have to resist that little cowardly voice in your head that tells you just put it in first person perspective, then you don't have to get to learn the pronouns or get used to them or anything like that. Just do first person perspective, which is what Martha Wells has done with the Murderbot Diaries, and then I'm not clicking the mouse button. And then she gave it the title The Murderbot Diaries to justify it. And I'm not saying she's doing this consciously. She's not consciously aware that she's taking the coward's way out as soon as the character uses it itself pronouns instead of anything else. But that's what she's doing, especially because we have one short story in the Murderbot Diaries universe so far that is not from Murderbot's perspective, and it's in third-person perspective. Even though it could, because the whole conceit, the justification with the Murderbot Diaries is kind of hinted that at some point, eventually, maybe in the future, maybe we are reading all of these books in the future because they are part of a documentary that Bharadwaj, who was never hinted at with anything in regards to, like, documentaries or reporting or anything, she's interested in making a documentary about the slavery of sec units and comfort units in the corporation rim to get the people of preservation to stop being blatant bigots. Okay. Can I get some hints? Game, I'm so bad at this. Oh, probably these things. Okay. Not that. Okay, I can search it. So I'll have to find another coolant thingy, I'm guessing. I don't want to go in that vent. Oh wait, I can't go in that vent. Never mind, it's fine. I'm just gonna save over here whenever it lets me. But yeah, we even have a short story. I just call it book 4.5 because the titles of these books are useless. This doesn't seem very safe. Any more bodies I'm meant to be searching here? I'm sure those are just regular spaceship noises. The fact that I can hide in here is not reassuring, though. Maybe they're not reassuring. As soon as I get this power turned on, the xenomorph is going to be able to come in here. It's going to be very annoying. Can I push the damn run? We're dead. Bye! Bye! Sorry, Ripley. Well, I was close. Yeah, we have a short story that... So I just go directly in there. Unless it won't even come in until I'm ready to walk into that room, which would be annoying. The whole conceit of the Murderbot Diary is the excuse, conscious or otherwise, for it being in first-person perspective is that we're calling it a diary, even though none of them are in diary format whatsoever. The first book ends with the really abrupt and not... Is it literally just gonna come in as soon as I go over here? Is there gonna be like a secret spot over here for me to hide in? I guess we'll just find out. Oh, I still gotta do that again. And then there was nothing else in here. And then there's gonna be... Maybe it's just after I pick that thing up. We'll find out. There's gonna be at least one of the 2 remaining books that we know for sure are gonna happen. At least one of them is not even going to be from Murderbot's perspective. It's possible that both of them aren't from Murderbot's perspective. And it's like... guarantee now that if they're not from Murderbot's perspective or from the perspective of any other person who uses neopronouns, it's pretty much guaranteed that I gotta go put this cylinder over here. They won't be in first person perspective because it'll be the pronouns. Can I hide in here? If we just hide in here, will it come out? and then get bored. They won't be in first-person perspective anymore because they'll be pronouns that Martha Wells is already comfortable using and doesn't need to chicken out of anything. See if it'll let us save again so we don't have to keep doing all of this before we get eaten. Nope. You would think with how many playthroughs I've watched, I would know what's going to happen, but apparently I just forget all of the important details. Also, you are encouraged to laugh at me while you watch these videos. It's hilarious. Well, we're gonna go get eaten, guys, because unless it'll let me save now. Yeah, okay. I wonder what the time limit on between saves is. Alright. Let's walk backwards. Does that work, Xenomorph? Maybe. I don't remember if I'd actually gone into the room, or maybe I was on my way out. Ripley's doing a whole lot for everybody aboard this station. Alright, I guess we gotta go in the room. Maybe it's not even a scripted thing to happen. Maybe it just happened to be happening. Beep, 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 beep. Turn that off. Boo. Boo.
Samuels, there's a Dr. Lingard, senior medical officer. Should be able to find out where they're keeping everything in her office.
Good luck, Ripley. Hurry if you can.
Now it's gonna come out and kill us. Was that just like a coincidence that it just happened to come out just to keep me on my toes? So weird. Maybe it was just a coincidence. It has nothing to do with me going in that room or not. Can I? Once again, doesn't let me hold the space bar and move the camera at the same time. Okay, we don't need to twitch like that, camera. See if we can save. I think that might have just been like a little... It doesn't say hostiles nearby, so that might have just been a, hey player, you better keep staying scared. Don't get cocky. Don't get too relaxed. The Xenomorph can just kill you. Like, at least they were nice enough to do that. Okay, so going that way. Now we go.
Synthetic nurses operating this facility. If you'd rather be attended by a human, please ask.
It's making me paranoid. Just write stories with neopronoun. And as far as I am concerned, neopronouns in English, it'll depend on what language you're speaking. Neopronouns in English is literally any pronouns that's not she, her, or they, them. Because even with pronouns that don't exist in this language, like it, his, or they, them, 90% of society won't be caught dead respecting those pronouns. So, like, the idea that they, them pronouns are at all accepted because a few people in the queer community specifically will use them is just absurd, because random conservatives will literally tell you you are destroying the English language if you use they, them pronouns. So, and not even getting started on the way people will react if you use it, its pronouns. Like, yeah, guys, all neopronoun users need to fucking stand together and have solidarity, whether you use they, them, it, its, z, them, stars, anything like that, because, like, you can have problems with specific kinds of bigots within the trans community who will insist upon using they, them pronouns for you if you use different neopronouns, but that doesn't mean that they, them pronouns aren't absolutely reviled by the greater community. So, we're just gonna get distracted. It, its, they, them, these are neopronouns. Specifically, they, can I just click no? It's showing the save button, I think I saved. I came up with a whole bunch of categories, subcategories of neopronouns, because one of the main problems is people want to be able to differentiate between pronouns. Noun self pronouns like stars. We're just gonna make it this map as we go. Stars pronouns and like Z here pronouns, stuff like that. So stars pronouns. I don't. We're just gonna die. Very bad noises. I'm not sure if that was scripted or not. Again with the flashing lights, guys. Stop the flashing lights. There's literally nowhere for me to look. Sorry. And I'm pretty sure the damn xenomorph's just down here, and they're just like, fuck you if you... Oh my god. Sorry. Stop putting flashing lights in video games.
When you're far from home.
What was I saying? Or at least, if you're gonna put flashing lights in your games, make them completely optional to look at. I don't know why people enjoy this. Stop doing this crap. Nope. Even with the stupid flashing lights. So obnoxious. Yeah, I have no clue what I was saying before all these flashing lights. It sounded like the Xenomorph was wearing squeaky shoes. Fuck you, game developers. Don't put flashing lights in the sequel. And then I literally can't look. Okay, I can look up there to kind of get rid of them. Not really, though. You guys suck. So we're supposed to be going down there. I'll continue the commentary when we're not in a room with flashing lights. Fuck you, Xenomorph. Gonna hide in here. Oh, wrong button. Okay, yeah, I forgot. They don't let you do that. And look at that vent right there for the Xenomorphs to come hopping out. Okay. And then made me jump. I guess it literally doesn't matter if the lights come on or not, because the Xenomorph doesn't seem to need light. Right, this is like a bathroom. Staff quarters. Whatever. Allons-y. Might die. We might die. That doesn't work on me. I have to pretend I don't notice the freaking deer stepping on a twig so I can get a picture of it without it realizing that I know it's there. Fix air conditioning. Something? Press something? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I still don't remember what I was saying. The damn flashing lights completely distracted me. Besides, it's entirely possible that the next two and last two Murderbot Diaries books aren't even gonna be from Murderbot's perspective. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that at least one of them literally won't be. It'll be from the perspective of one of Art's crew. So, take that as you will. But neopronouns are not difficult to use. They just seem like they're difficult because you're not used to consciously thinking about all of these rules that you already know how to follow. It's like the equivalent of you take 2 plus 2 equals 4. You know that 2 plus 2 equals 4, and the only difference is that now you're changing out 2 for some brand new little symbol thingy. But it works exactly the same way, you just call it by a different name, like bluff. Bluff plus bluff equals blob. That's how neopronouns work. It's just following the exact same rules that you already know. You're just changing what word you use. Okay, I will end this video so they don't get super long and then just restart the next recording.